Stellaris 4.0 is coming in May, and we've just been given a deeper dive as to what's to come. In this video, we'll be looking at Precursor Selection, the Databank, species modification changes, and ship designer changes. Let's not get a Reddit post made about us and get straight into the Dev Diary. Greetings, Stellaris community. Last week, we announced the Stellaris 4.0 Phoenix update. Today, we're going to start going through some of the changes coming in it. As mentioned before, the changes we'll be going through in the next few Dev Diaries are still scorching hot on the development branch, and may change drastically before final release. That said, the ones I'm talking about today have cooled off a little bit and are pretty stable at this point. This means, in my eyes, a lot of these are pretty much 99% confirmed to come in 4.0. First up, Precursor Selection. Let's start with a simple one that I already leaked to you back in December. The Advanced Settings tab, when you're setting up a new game, will now have a section that lets you set which precursors are available in your galaxy. The galaxy will be split into slices, and the available precursors distributed as they are currently in the above example. The First League and Cyberx would not appear for anyone in this galaxy. You're free to set the number of available precursors to whatever number you desire, even none. Remember that in multiplayer games, each precursor chain can only be completed by a single player. We recommend having at least 4 to keep a sense of uncertainty and wonder in the galaxy. But it's up to you if you want to force a specific precursor. Okay, so this essentially means this precursor selection isn't for you, but the galaxy. So if you did just select Cyberx, you might spawn in a galaxy slice that doesn't have it. I don't think this is all bad, but it's not as customizable as I think people were hoping for or thought it would be, but it kind of makes it still balanced. And you can kind of sway the odds into a precursor that you want, but you're not 100% guaranteed. I'm wondering if these will still have odds, like some precursors you can only find on habitable worlds. So if you only survey habitable worlds, you will only get the ones that can be there, essentially. Interesting to see how that works, because that can let you manipulate the odds even further, as if you only put one that can be found on habitable worlds and the rest that can't, you could just go around serving habitable worlds and then you will get that one. Very interesting. I like it. More customizability is good. Please add a setting to change galactic community length and stuff. It makes sense, please. If you are currently enjoying this breakdown of the Dev Diary, consider subscribing. It's free, helps out a lot, and pushes it out to more people like you. We'll carry on with the Dev Diary now. Next up, the Stellaris Databank. Back in Stellaris 3.8 Gemini update, we introduced concepts as a variant of tooltips within tooltips. I really like these, especially when they were first introduced in CK3. It helps you learn the game so much quicker because you can see what the heck an alloy foundry is, or a colony is. We've been iterating on how we use them over time, and they've become a great asset in helping explain the complexities of Stellaris. Agree. In the Stellaris 4.0 Phoenix update, we're adding a compendium of sorts that contains concepts in a searchable form. Stellaris Databank. Okay, let's look at this first image. Concepts in the Databank are divided into categories and can themselves include further concepts. Clicking the placeholder icon in the top right searches for the concept in Stellaris Wiki for more detailed information. Okay, so we're trying to take less reliance on external sources for information, but obviously you can't have everything here. The wiki will take you to the building example, I'm presuming. We do have alloys, anomaly, army, buildings, construction ship, empire size, energy credits, and expansion planner. It looks like we're just searching for minerals, but I don't know why all these would turn up. I don't know why that mineral icon is in the all. But a building specializes the output of colonies, for example, alloy foundries and research labs. Build more buildings in the colony view. I mean, this just helps newer players. I'm all for it. The next screenshot, searching for alloys in the top left, gives us every concept that includes the word, something the most relevant to the top. So yeah, alloys at the top, and then minerals, you can see that they can be converted into alloys. Quite interesting. Next screenshot, if you have a concept open, clicking will open the databank. You'd like to know more. Ah, okay. So in the tooltips, you can go to the databank. I'm interested in seeing how we use the databank and how it can be improved in the future. So my thoughts, good for newer players. I think these will have to just be the basic concepts then, because otherwise you'll spoil, in inverted commas, the tech tree. Because if you start as a normal empire, say, and you look at alloys, which we have done here, I'm assuming, well, later on in the game, they can be turned into robots. Does this unlock in the databank? Do we never see it? Is it just basic concepts? Be very interesting, because if it doesn't give you new stuff, I mean, this is only relevant right at the start of the game. I don't mind it though. I remember watching a whole video debate on games that require outside context, like using wikis. I don't mind it, but it would be nice to have more information in the game, which this is just doing. Next up, species modification changes. We gave you a quick preview of the species menu last week, but now we'll go a little more in depth. The species screen now provides you with more information about the various species in your empire, including showing the number of trait picks they might have remaining. Hey, we worked that out last time. The template modification window itself has been remade to provide better sorting of positive and negative traits, and listing them by value making it easier to find traits you're looking for. Let's break this GIF down. My surveils look delicious, don't you think? So we get more detail on each point. We got the total pops, we got the traits, habitability, amount of pops, total points remaining, trait picks remaining, and then the species information, which you can hover over for more detail. Then we can create template, which is very new and improved. Positive traits on the left, negative traits on the right, way better to sort, and they are in order of how much they cost, which is so good. They're just random before. And then you can apply research projects straight away. You don't even have to go into the situation log and do it. And yes, that is removing a few clicks in the process, starting the special project immediately. I love that. If time is not of the essence, instead of using a special project to modify your species, you can designate a template as the species default and let them integrate over to that default template slowly over time. Certain traditions or buildings might affect the speed of this integration process. Oh, okay. Phase 4, gene clinics might get a buff here, allowing for quicker integration. As we know, with auto-modding, the more assembly plants you have on the planet, the quicker they change into auto-modding. So it's kind of similar to that. Actually, scratch that. Everyone should be delicious. Let's break this GIF down then. So they come over to their main species, they create a template, they add delicious and gaseous, whatever that says. The quality is not great for me. That creates a different species. They can apply it, but they don't. Then they set that as a default, the new one they made. They come over to their other species tab, set species rights, subspecies integration, and then they make the old pop slowly integrate into that new default species. They don't even need to do the project. And then you can see that it's actually integrating. This is actually huge because the amount of times I just ignore species modification because I can't be bothered to do a billion projects is mad. It also means you can create all of the templates in one go, let them all slowly integrate, and then the ones you want to prioritize, you could do the project for. This is a huge buff to genetics and makes the whole process a lot easier. More simple, less clicks. Really love all these changes. Next up, ship design changes. Like some of the other UIs we're exploring today, the ship designer has had some quality of life updates. We've taken the ship roles that were introduced in the 3.6 Orion update and made selecting one part of the basic ship design flow and giving them a better representation than a scrollable text list. Some pain points of ship design, like the auto-generate changes button blocking saving, have been removed. Yes! Less clicks, and in general it's faster and easier process to create a general ship design. They've also added a custom role for veteran players that want to design the ship from scratch, or you can take one of these generated templates and modify them to suit your needs before saving. Let's analyze the GIF. Okay, so we're going to click new design. We have 4 options. We call that free destroy and defense platform because that's what we've researched. This is also different. Instead of just a list of text, you actually get to see the images, which I think is cool, especially for the bigger ships. Makes you feel like you're really making something huge. So we select the frigate. No, we select the destroyer. Then we have a bunch of rules to pick from. These aren't any different to the list, but they're in a better layout. They look a bit cooler, and when you hover over them, they give you a description of what they're going to do. So the destroyer becomes artillery. We do have, I believe, large and medium slot with artillery combat computer. They don't modify anything except for auto upgrade and then save. Then we'll make a new ship, a corvette that's a brawler, and they do the same, and a destroyer that's custom, so you can still do what you normally do. I really like this because it can save us a few clicks. We don't have to click auto upgrade. I mean, if we're making artillery cruiser, we can select that and then modify it. Good for new players who want to get into ship design, but it's too daunting. They can get a bit of a predetermined template, and it's good for experienced players because we're going to be doing less clicks. It's easier to just get to stuff, and it looks a bit better. Next week, we'll go over more details regarding the improvements to message settings, as well as the selection of other features that are still so hot in development that they're still glowing placeholder magenta. If I can't get you decent screenshots, I'll post some of the concepts and explain what we're in the middle of. See you then. Overall, huge changes. Nothing majorly groundbreaking in this dev diary, but all hugely welcome changes. Now, if you're feeling the Stellaris itch, why don't you go and watch my achievement series, where I'm trying to get all 191 achievements, record them all, and suffer for your pleasure. The entire series is in this playlist, so click it now. Do it!